rider beware.
He threatened to shoot me. Eventually, I ended up paying him so that, I could spare my own life.
While the taxi or ride share you're stepping into may not be legit, and how to tell.
Tornado damage not the only disaster in the mid-state.
As you see, we still got inches of mud and dirt.
The damage left behind after devastating flooding.
And on death row for 33 years, now Gary Sutton's conviction is in question. The evidence and testimony fueling doubt. Fox 17 News at 9 starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
He threatened to shoot me. Eventually, I ended up paying him so that, I could spare my own life.
In Operation Crime and Justice, complaints about a Wild West atmosphere downtown with bogus taxi and rideshare drivers putting unsuspecting customers in danger. Some people we spoke with who live and work downtown tell us they have been victimized by essentially unregulated operators.
Well, the Metro Transportation Licensing Commission says it has people on the street looking for bad actors, but is that enough? Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live downtown with more on the growing issue tonight. Caitlin?
Megan, Scott, I've spoken with several musicians who work here downtown that they say that they've been ripped off or threatened by taxi drivers who claim to work for a company that they don't actually work for. Clay Bitter plays guitar and sings at a number of the popular clubs on Broadway. Last month on the way home, he took what turned out to be a fake taxi and found out he was going to be charged twice the normal amount just a block after being picked up.
I'm not going to pay almost double that. You can turn the meter on so we can see what the proper charge is going to be. He refused to. I tried explaining to him that it was against the law according to TLC.
Bitter called dispatch as they approached his house, and they told him he didn't have to pay and to get out of the car.
He had kind of shut the door, keeping me from leaving the vehicle. He turned back around. Dispatcher told me to call the cops for abduction. He threatened to shoot me. Eventually, I ended up paying him so that, I could spare my own life.
Bitter filed a police report. He says the manager of the cab company told him the number on the cab he took hasn't worked with their company in 3 years. Fox 17 News reached out to the Transportation Licensing Commission to see if they are aware of this issue. I left a message for Director Richard Rooker. So far, no response. But a TLC board member tells me they have regulations and enforcement, people who can respond to complaints. The board member also confirmed taxis must use a meter, except for a few routes to and from the airport and the Opryland Hotel area. So how do you know if a taxi is legitimate? Well, you should check the outside of the vehicle, and their letters from the company should be painted on. And also inside the vehicle, the Metro permit should be visible to all passengers. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Hot topic here, and we want to know what you think. Should Nashville crack down on unregulated taxis? This poll is live right now. We've had about 328 people weigh in. Most people, 76.5%, say yes. 23.5% say no. You can cast your vote. Scan the QR code right there on the right hand of your screen. It will take you to our X page, and we'll show you updated results here a little later in the newscast.
New tonight, investigators confirm 3 people were killed when a small plane crashed this afternoon in the southwestern part of Williamson County. Now, the crash site's roughly 30 miles from Nashville, all right, downtown Nashville here. The crash site here in the Leapers Fork area, really close to the intersection of Murray County and Williamson County. Here's what we know about the crash. The plane was a Beechcraft V-35, similar to the one you see in the picture here. It left Louisiana today en route to Louisville, Kentucky, when it crashed just after noon. No word tonight on who the victims are on board or exactly what went wrong.
Well, new tonight, the National Weather Service confirming a tornado touched down in Lawrence County when storms blew into the mid-state last night. An EF0 tornado packing 85-mile-per-hour winds, tearing apart barns and uprooting trees out in Lawrenceburg. That tornado comes on the heels of a widespread tornado outbreak in Middle Tennessee just 1 week ago tonight. Continuing coverage tonight of the damage left behind from last week's deadly tornado outbreak. Strong winds left behind plenty of damage out in Rutherford County, including the popular Lucky Lad Farms. And joining us now is Amy Ladd from Lucky Lad Farms. First and foremost, Amy, so glad that you and everyone else are okay. I know that it's a long cleanup effort ahead of you all. What is the biggest issue that you're facing tonight?
Really, it's just trying to secure the property to make it safe again for the animals and for our guests to come back. We've got a lot of fencing down, and we estimate we're somewhere in the 120 trees down across the property. So that's been the biggest thing that we've been facing currently.
Well, I know we had a crew out there today surveying the damage and getting a firsthand look at the cleanup efforts. How long do you think it will take for you all to be able to open back up to the public?
Well, we're pushing really hard. I have to give my team credit and credit to a lot of volunteers that have come out over the last week to help us expedite things as much as we can. So we, of course, started on cleanup the next day, and our lovely barn contractor came out and got a new roof put on our barn that we lost, and we were able to make really great progress over the weekend getting a lot of the trees cleared. And so now our next big step is fencing, and we're just kind of taking it day by day and hour by hour. We set up a makeshift office here in my home for office staff so that we can start responding and reaching out to our customers and just taking it, each little bit as we can.
That's all you can do, day by day. What was it like for you riding out the storm? Did you have enough time to prepare and get in your safe place?
Yeah, so luckily myself, my husband, and my children were not home. However, my mom and dad were, and they did. We of course listened to the weather reports, and we're following it on our phone. And my mom and dad, they got in the bathtub and they covered themselves with a little mattress and tried to prepare for the best of it. And we are just thankful that the ground wasn't the tornado wasn't fully on the ground, because had it been on the ground completely, then they likely would have lost their home, as well as we would have had a lot more structures lost.
I'm sure a terrifying experience. Amy, just again, so glad you all are okay. You've got an entire community rallying around you guys to help you guys get back up and running. Thank you so much for sharing your story tonight.
Thank you so much, Megan.
We lost all three of our vehicles, and Ashley's vehicle was pointed towards this way, and it turned it around and slammed it.
Continuing coverage tonight as some Camden County families continue to battle back from last week's severe weather as well. For them, the problem wasn't a tornado, but flooding from the Stones River. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker's in Woodbury after talking to flood victims who say the county is not responding to their calls for help.
For one family on this street, they tell me that water was up to here inside of their home. I mean, you could still feel some of that water on the walls. Now, the Patterson family tells me that they woke up to just complete chaos.
Cars submerged in flood waters, with more than a foot of water also rushing into homes.
I got veggie drawers full of sewage and swamp water.
CJ Patterson walks us through his home.
As you see, we still got inches of mud and dirt.
It's where his family woke up to a flooded home. His kids rushing to grab their drowning pets, and the teen boy now left with anxiety.
He wants nothing to do with this house. He won't go in it when we come back. When it was storming yesterday, he was just huddled up on me. It's changed a lot in just a matter of seconds.
Patterson tells me that morning his family lost their car and most of their possessions along with their home.
The damage is probably 4 times worth the amount the houses were.
And across the street, it's a similar story for his mother, Lisa. She tells me she paid $30,000 for her home 2 decades ago, but the damage costs are racking up. That's upwards of $100,000.
We don't know what to do, because if we fix everything and it does it again, then, we don't know what to do.
The Pattersons tell me flooding issues have got progressively worse over the years after it was deemed a flood zone in 2012, but never this bad.
They dug out the Stones River, and that was supposed to help too, and this is the first time we've been flooded in the house, and that's after they did all that.
The Pattersons feel their street has yet to be acknowledged by county leaders. Today we reached out to Camden County Exec Greg Mitchell to ask if they plan to find other ways to divert water in the area. He says TEMA surveyed the area and the county is waiting those results. He also says any further questions should go to the city mayor. Now, I'm told most people living on this street have had to move out of their home due to unlivable conditions. And with rain in the forecast in the coming days, residents here tell me that they're very worried for any more damage, let alone future damage once those repairs are complete. For now, reporting in Woodbury, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red Station.
Another tornado added to the list here for May 8th and 9th. This one in Benton County, an EF0 tornado was marked, and that gives us 10 total tornadoes now from last Wednesday into early Thursday morning. That includes the 5 in Lincoln County. We are looking ahead to our next Code Red day, which unfortunately looks to be Friday. A chance for showers and thunderstorms. Couple could be on the strong side, especially as we go through Friday evening. As we take a look at the radar this evening, the good news is we are going to stay dry. A couple showers toward the Cumberland Plateau and Upper Cumberland region that are pushing out. We're going to be left with a mainly clear start to the day tomorrow here. So nice little break in the showers between the next system that'll arrive for Friday. Things quiet on Broadway this evening and mild too. Temperatures sitting at around 70 degrees. Overnight staying mild in those low 60s to upper 50s. A beautiful day on tap for Thursday. We'll talk about that and more on the potential for a few strong storms on Friday, all coming up.
Double murder death penalty cases are supposed to be open and shut case.
Multiplier instant games. Find them today at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun.
Well, he's the next man on the list scheduled to die in Tennessee. Gary Sutton has been on death row now for 33 years, accused of a vicious double murder in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains.
Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier has been looking into this case for nearly 2 years now, essentially investigating calls that, or I should say, questions that call Sutton's guilt into question.
This Smoky Mountains case is so full of holes you wonder how they ever got a conviction. Now the fate of Gary Sutton, 33 years later, sits on the governor's desk.
Carolyn Miller was young and in love with Gary Sutton. She still remembers the day he was arrested for murdering his best friend Tommy Griffin with a shotgun and then burning Griffin's sister alive in her car. Miller said they thought the charges would be dropped after they realized Gary had nothing to do with it.
We didn't have money for the right attorneys, the right investigators, and you don't think that you're going to be put in prison for something you know you didn't do, and on the backside of it, they know he didn't do it.
Sutton and his uncle James Dillinger were convicted and given the death penalty, even though the detective who promised 3 eyewitnesses provided none.
0 eyewitnesses, 0 motive, no murder weapon, nothing. And all these people that they said they had, they didn't.
We found 2 witnesses who actually felt like their testimony was manipulated. Barbara Jones told us she can't identify the car she saw or who was in it. Another witness, Jason McDonald, says a key part of his testimony was omitted. The part where he said he heard a shot and saw a car that did not belong to Sutton or his uncle. And then Tina Hartman shows up, a witness never interviewed, who identifies a new suspect, Lester Johnson, with a strong motive he's never even questioned. This all comes to light after Miller hires Nashville private detective Heather Cohen to reinvestigate the case. One of the most alarming aspects, the day they find Tommy Griffin's body by a creek, there is no evidence of the shotgun shells. Then, days later, detectives say they find 2 shotgun shells perfectly side by side at the crime scene. Here's another problem with the case. The prosecution needed Tommy Griffin to have been murdered on Friday. It had to be Friday to support the theory. 3 pathologists believe Griffin was murdered on Monday or Sunday because when Tommy Griffin's body was discovered, he's in full rigor mortis. In case you didn't know, bodies don't stay in rigor mortis that long. Nevertheless, Charles Harlan, as a witness for the prosecution, says Griffin died on Friday. Dr. Harlan ended up losing his medical license when the Tennessee Board of Medical Examiners concluded he had committed numerous acts of malpractice, fraud, deceit, and unprofessional conduct. This is the doctor who helps convict Gary Sutton in disagreement with multiple reputable doctors?
It was scientifically impossible because when they found Tommy Griffin's body on Monday, February 24th, his body was in full rigor mortis. And a human body only stays in rigor mortis for up to 36 hours. So there's no way that he had been murdered on Friday night.
The case is so shaky, a group of lawmakers and other elected officials have asked the governor for a complete review and meeting to discuss Sutton's case. State Senator Paige Wally.
I just want to make sure that if we're going to have someone pay that kind of price for a crime, that we ought to darn well be sure they're the ones that did it. And there seems to be enough evidence to me to warrant another look.
Meanwhile, Gary Sutton waits, finally hopeful again, not just waiting to die.
I literally got to a point, Dennis. I've got a family that loves me, that knows I didn't do this, and I finally reached a point of where if I'd kept asking them, they would have kept spending money. And I mean, they fought and fought and fought. And I literally reached a point, I said, look, y'all need to go in and live y'all's life and quit spending money, because I thought, I just felt like I was banging my head against a wall.
All possible because of the unlikely return of Carolyn Miller. She moved on to a new life after Sutton's conviction and only returned when he had a temporary execution date. It made her want to talk to him. She ended up back in love with him.
I know he's innocent, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do and whatever I can do to prove his innocence, because Gary's been sitting on death row for 33 years for something he did absolutely not do.
There's no timetable on this. The governor can look at it when he has time. It does help that he has friends and old political allies that want him to look at it. We'll let you know. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Heading into a quiet night tonight and into tomorrow, best day of the week. Thankfully, a nice break from the very active pattern that we continue to see. Another tornado to report, unfortunately, here. This one from yesterday. So remember, yesterday we had some severe thunderstorms roll through, and National Weather Service went out and did survey the damage and ended up saying that, yes, it was in fact an EF0 tornado in Lawrence County, right around the Etheridge area where most of the damage occurred, with 85-mile-per-hour winds. As we head into Thursday, I mentioned again a mainly dry day. We'll look for a code red day on Friday with another threat for a few strong thunderstorms. So enjoy tomorrow. We're looking at mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies for most of us. There will be a stray shower chance possible as we head through the afternoon, but again, the majority of us stay dry. As we head into Friday, our next code red day will be Friday, mainly afternoon and evening. The potential for strong wind gusts will be with us here, and this is going to be as we head towards the afternoon hours. Wind, hail, maybe some spot flooding. The tornado threat, it's not great, but it's not zero. Still, I think wind and hail are going to be the primary concerns as we go through Friday. So we walk you through tomorrow here. This is 6 a.m. and notice as we head towards the afternoon hours, we are looking at partly cloudy skies. Just to our north and west, we've got a couple showers that are around. We'll keep an eye on them. And again, a stray shower mainly in our northwestern counties. But I would say for the most part, we stay dry until we get into late Thursday night, where a few showers will start to move in. And early Friday, a chance for showers and storms that'll be around. And then we get into the afternoon, late morning afternoon. This will be when we need to start watching for strong to severe thunderstorms heading into the afternoon hours. Again, the potential for a couple pop-ups will exist all the way, I'd say, through Friday evening into early Saturday morning. The potential for showers around the area here. So again, through Saturday morning, we'll continue to find showers around. And it does look like as we head through Saturday and a little less on Sunday, our rainy pattern will continue here. So we'll talk more about our weekend forecast, how much rain we could see as we head towards Saturday and Sunday, and walk you through Future Track. That's all coming up. Megan.
Thank you, Katie. Well, praying for a miracle. The latest on the
Rivergate. Now is for pre-owned. We've made a special purchase of many makes and models. You can check them out at NissanofRivergate.com. Come see us at North Nashville's Nissan of Rivergate in Madison.
Continuing coverage tonight as we follow the story of a 10-year-old Rutherford County boy who was critically injured in last week's flooding.
Well, Asher Sullivan swept into a storm drain in Murfreesboro, and an entire community has been praying for his recovery around the clock. Asher currently at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, where tonight his dad says that they really need some positive signs. He's asking for prayers for Asher's brain swelling to subside and for Asher to take some breaths on his own. A special prayer gathering for Asher is planned for Saturday night at 6 at Fountains of Gateway in Murfreesboro.
Looking ahead now, a former Laverne police officer fired in the midst of a sex scandal goes on the record with Fox 17 News. His name's Ty McGowan. He says the allegations that cost him his job and career are false. He's one of 5 officers fired over what the city calls inappropriate relationships with former officer Megan Hall. McGowan stands by his story in spite of an independent investigation that found several questionable text message exchanges between him and Hall. Tomorrow on Fox 17 News at 9, why McGowan feels he was treated unfairly.
An agreement on a pair of
today and lease the sporty 2024 Jetta S for just $199 a month.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by B.F. Myers Furniture.
In politics tonight, a rare agreement for President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, as the two are now set to square off on the debate stage in the race for the White House.
Can't help but smile. Been a long time coming. Both of these campaigns have agreed to at least 2 debates ahead of the November election, including one that will actually take place before either of these candidates actually becomes their party's official nominee. Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell tonight with the story.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice.
Challenge accepted. Former President Donald Trump posting on Truth Social, "I am ready and willing to debate Crooked Joe at the 2 proposed times in June and September." While also calling for more than 2 debates, the agreed upon dates are now June 27th, hosted by CNN, and September 10th, hosted by ABC. The devil now in the details.
There could be a fight over specific journalists that are chosen to ask the questions. There could be a fight over how long the debate is. Any and every little thing is potentially a landmine that could blow the whole thing up.
Other questions include whether the current president and the former one will be sitting or standing.
He wants to sit down. He wants to do things like he wants to sit down. I think a debate should be standing up.
Trump and Biden now negotiating directly with the networks on every aspect, since their agreement cuts out the Bipartisan Commission on Presidential Debates, which has organized them for more than 3 decades. The proposal by the Biden campaign includes a format with no audience and no third-party candidates.
It's Donald Trump who said he would do this anytime, anywhere, any place. So I don't think that they should have any problems with what we have proposed.
Professor Alan Schroeder wrote a book on the evolution of televised presidential debates and is also concerned about a much lower audience size since the debate will only be broadcast on the network hosting it, but says he expects the show will go on.
I think the good thing here is that Trump and Biden are both fairly evenly matched in the polls right now, so they both need debates.
Third-party candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now responding to the proposal to exclude him, accusing Trump and Biden of collusion, adding keeping viable candidates off the debate stage undermines democracy. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
Certainly a busy few days, and we're not really in the clear yet. We've got something coming on Friday.
Yeah, we do, and we'll keep an eye on it. I think we're going to have a better view and better idea as we get into tomorrow, what we may see for Friday. I think it'll be low end, whatever we do see. I do think we're going to be looking at a lot of rain, another 1 to 2 inches possible.
We've had so much.
I know, we need a break. In fact, I've been looking ahead at some of the holidays just because I need something to look forward to right now. It's been very active. Holiday countdown here. I thought this would be fun just to take a look. Just about 12 days now from Memorial Day, with Father's Day 32 days away. Beginning of summer, not far either. And the 4th of July will be here before you know it. 50 days and counting. And then the unofficial end of summer, only 10 days away. So we are gearing up for the summer season here, and typically in the summer months, severe weather tends to taper off, or at least it tapers down for us. I'll say that. The peak of severe weather season traditionally ends at around the end of May. So hopefully we'll see things calm down, but it does look to be at least active as we head towards the weekend. Out the door for tomorrow, though, we are good. We've got one nice day to enjoy for tomorrow, and we'll be looking at temperatures in those 80s with starting off in those 60s here. So enjoy the afternoon while you can, because by Thursday night we'll be looking at another round of showers to arrive to the northwest, becoming more widespread for Friday. We're going to walk you through the storm chances for Saturday and Sunday, because it looks like the rainy weather will continue right into the weekend. So we'll have that for you coming up in just a little bit. But we want to talk more about this active weather that we've been looking at, making history, in fact, last week. We're going to have meteorologist Brett Luna also talk more about the differences in tornado warning versus tornado emergency.
Last week, from early Wednesday morning to early Thursday morning, multiple rounds of severe weather, including many supercells, blasted through Middle Tennessee. The first round moved through Wednesday morning, then we had another round move through in the afternoon, and then that final round moved through Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. These storms left behind widespread damage across nearly every county right here in Middle Tennessee. Some areas also got hail the size of apples, along with many tornadoes too. The large EF3 tornado that moved through Murray County prompted the National Weather Service to issue a tornado emergency, and this is the first tornado emergency that the Nashville National Weather Service office has issued since December 9th of last year. I also want to show you just really quick too the different colored tornado polygons that pop up on our radar maps here at Fox 17. So this red polygon that you see behind me, this is the original tornado polygon. On our computers, that means that it's radar indicated rotation. So the National Weather Service saw the radar, the rotation on radar, and went ahead and issued that tornado warning. This purple polygon, on the other hand, that is a confirmed tornado. So someone has actually seen this tornado, or we can see the debris on radar, and the hot pink polygon inside that purple one, that is the tornado emergency. And a tornado emergency indicates that there is a severe threat to human life and catastrophic damage due to a confirmed violent tornado. Along with the large hail and damaging winds and tornadoes, some areas also got a lot of rainfall in a very short amount of time, up to 9 inches in 24 hours. The National Weather Service had to issue flash flood emergencies for Robertson and Sumner counties. There were several water rescues, and this is the first time that the Nashville National Weather Service office has issued a tornado emergency and a flash flood emergency during the same weather event.
Just ahead, tracking STDs in Tennessee. The category still spiking, and what Metro's top
on select adjustable mattress sets, including the all-new Temper-Adapt. For better sleep and savings, shop Ashley today.
All local, all morning, even during commercials. Watch Fox 17 News this morning.
Well, we've been waiting all off season, and now it's finally here. Tennessee Titans officially releasing their 2024 NFL schedule today, which will mark the start of the Brian Callahan era. Now, the first game of the Callahan era, that would be the Bears. Titans in Chicago September 8th to open up the season, and that means it's the team's very first game going up against the #1 overall draft pick in quarterback Caleb Williams. It will mark the Titans' first appearance at Soldier Field during the regular season since 2016. It will be a noon kickoff for that opener, and hey, you can watch it right here on Fox 17. Mark your calendar. Now, after that first game, Titans will welcome in Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets to Nissan Stadium for their home opener. Rodgers returns for his second season with the Jets after suffering that season-ending injury week 1 of last year. That will be a noon kickoff as well, September 15th. After that game, Titans will host Green Bay week 3, and then their one and only primetime game will be a rematch of last year's Monday Night Football game against the Miami Dolphins. That will be in week 4. Now take a look at the very bottom, week 5. That's the Titans bye week, and note that it's coming very early in the season, so we'll see how that goes for them. Now after the bye, Titans open up division play against the Colts, then off to Buffalo and Detroit. Titans then hosting New England the first weekend in November, and then we'll be in LA against the Chargers. Titans will then host the Vikings November 17th, and then on the road at Houston and at Washington. We'll be back at home December 8th and 15th. Then final stretch of the season. 2 more road games against division opponents before they close out the regular season against Houston at home. So overall takeaways from their schedule: 9 road games, 8 home games, and just 1 primetime game. Should be an exciting start, though, to the Callahan era. Nashville Predators legendary goaltender Pekka Rinne has racked up a handful of awards and honors over the years, and today he added another one. During what he thought was a normal press conference, Rinne was surprised with the announcement that he will be inducted into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. Rinne retired from the Preds in 2021, finishing with the franchise record 369 wins and 60 shutouts. No surprise, he was a first ballot inductee. And over on the pitch tonight, Nashville SC back at home this evening, hosting Toronto FC. 0-0 ball games. I'll have to update you on that one tonight at 10. It will be a quick turnaround for the boys in gold after tonight. Up next, they'll host their southern rivals Atlanta FC this Saturday. That will be a noon kickoff at the Castle. Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Jill, thank you. Just ahead on Fox 17 News at 9, the category of STD still on the rise in Tennessee and what Metro's top doctor says is to blame.
To find more, go to PonceLaw.com. Nominate a person, family, or organization today. They could be our next hometown hero. This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Ponce Law.
Well, a recent report shows 7 of the top 10 states for STD infections are in the South.
Now, Tennessee is no longer in the top 10, but one of the most serious sexually transmitted diseases continues to be a problem here. And Metro's health director believes technology is at least partly to blame. After years of skyrocketing numbers for the 3 most common STDs, the latest CDC figures for Tennessee indicate public health prevention efforts are working on some level.
We continue to do outreach to the jails. We continue to outreach throughout the community to try and get these cases under control.
Figures show chlamydia cases in Tennessee are flat. Gonorrhea cases are down nearly 9%, but cases of syphilis are up 17%. It's second only to HIV in terms of seriousness. And Metro's health director, Dr. Gil Wright, believes technology is at least partly to blame.
And I think that some of that has to do with a number of apps that are out on your phone where you can hook up and we cannot do contact tracing because what we would typically ask is, who were your sexual contacts? I don't know, it was Joe and I met him on Tinder.
Wright's comments came at a budget hearing before Metro Council. He says his department has the resources needed for testing and sharing the prevention message. Bottom line, he says, you have to know your sex partners and you have to use protection.
That's sometimes uncomfortable. You may have met them, may not know exactly where they live, whatever. And then the other thing is just condoms and other barrier methods to prevent that.
Last year, Tennessee ranked 8th in the nation all told for STDs. The latest numbers for the 3 most common forms combined show Tennessee is now 15th in the country.
Well, we'll start off with a live look here on Broadway, and not looking too busy at this hour here. We'll be looking at, I'm sure, a busier time for tomorrow, especially since it's going to be so nice around downtown and really area-wide. We'll start off with a look at your forecast going through 11 o'clock tomorrow. Right around 74, 75 for Nashville to Clarksville and Murfreesboro. Wednesday light. Skies remain partly cloudy for the day. It's going to be the best day of the week. Highs in the low 80s for the afternoon, may even touch 82 here in Nashville before we start to see things drop back going into the early evening hours. This is by 9 even down to about 70, and we continue into Friday morning here. Notice rain chances begin to go up early Friday morning, and we'll continue to see those showers around for Friday afternoon. And it looks like into the weekend too. So we check out your forecast here as we go forward. This is through Thursday night, early Friday. You can see showers by the morning hours. The bulk of heavy rain for the next couple of days looks to stay south of us at least. So there is that, but I do think we're going to be looking at some spot flooding possibilities as we head towards Friday and Saturday, given the fact that the ground's still pretty wet from the past week. As we head through Friday afternoon, scattered showers continue. Here's 6 p.m. Another big bucket of rain moves across the deep south. But as we head into Saturday morning here, we will be looking at some scattered showers that'll be with us. Maybe even some moderate pockets of rain as we head through the afternoon and the evening on Saturday. Could yield to a few thunderstorms that we'll have to keep our eye on. Overall, again, the severe weather threat, there is a small one for Friday. Possibly a strong storm for Saturday, too. It's not going to be an overall major threat, but one we do want to keep an eye on and make sure that you stay aware of as we head through the first half of the weekend. Sunday, a few showers early on, but it does look like to be the drier of the 2 days as far as rain chances are concerned here. So we take a look. This is between now and Sunday morning. Most of this should fall between Friday and Saturday. A good 1 to 2 inches. That's everywhere that you see here in blue. Easily the bullseye well south of us where more of the bulk of rain will fall. But even 1 to 2 inches could lead again to a few issues for us with spot flooding, we'll call it. So we'll be in code red for Friday for that small threat for severe weather. Showers and storms continue for Saturday and a little warmer by Sunday with a little less chance for rain. Looks to be drying out though as we head into Monday of next week.
This in the making.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by Mac Pest Control. Fox 17 News Farrier Files is sponsored by Bart Durham Injury Law.
New tonight, former President Donald Trump's hush money trial takes a day off, but the allegations are still front and center in Congress.
As Fox 17 News' Matt Galka shows us, a congressional committee is now debating that trial, and you can let us know what you think by scanning the QR code that will appear on your screen during our story.
Is Michael Cohen a liar?
Without a doubt.
Robert Costello's name came up in testimony from Michael Cohen this week. Cohen outlined a scheme linking Donald Trump to the alleged hush money payment of a porn star. Costello, a former attorney advisor to Cohen, told members of Congress Trump's so-called fixer is making it up.
I said, Michael, the way this works is if you have truthful information about Donald Trump, that's clearly what they're looking for, I can have all your legal problems solved by the end of the week. His response, I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump.
Costello refuted the idea that he acted as a messenger to Trump. Costello and Republicans on the Weaponization of Government Subcommittee repeatedly tried to undercut Cohen's credibility.
This liar should not be able to hold our elections hostage.
This is one of the reasons that Trump's polls continue to skyrocket, and it's why President Trump will win in 2024.
You plan on telling the truth?
Cohen is considered the prosecution's star witness in the New York trial. Trump supporters point to his credibility issues already. He served time in prison and pleaded guilty to lying to Congress. Democrats equated the committee to a show trial while the real one was on break.
You know that coming down here, outside of that courtroom, while that witness is on the stand to try to impeach his credibility and his testimony, is jury tampering.
The purpose of this hearing is to try to influence the jury to do things that Donald Trump has a gag order to prevent him from doing.
Costello said he wouldn't be surprised if he's called as a witness for the defense.
Would you be ready to testify for the defense?
I'm always ready. Telling the truth is easy. Telling a lie is complicated. So I don't need any preparation.
Cohen is expected to face intense cross-examination when the trial resumes Thursday. He is the prosecution's last witness. In Washington, I'm Matt Galka.
Well, during that story, we had a QR code linked up to this poll asking the question, do you think the federal government is working in your best interest? And here are the results. Almost 400 people weighing in. 94.6% of respondents say no, you don't think the federal government is working in your best interest, compared to just 5.4% that say yes.
Just ahead, a bar for humans breaking ground on a sporty addition to East Nashville's Lipstick Lounge.